Welcome back, fellow Bang Dreamers. This is Maverick here, continuing my watch of the third season of Bang Dream with episode 7. So, as I said last episode, lots and lots of things happening right now in the entire Bandori franchise. We are 3 days away from the third year anniversary of the mobile game. We're already 2 weeks away from the 5th anniversary, which I talked about last episode in regards to the entire franchise, but the game is a very, very, very important part of the franchise, so that also requires its own celebration as well. And of course, as I already mentioned last episode as well, we are going to be getting a new band as well that also has this linkage between the real seiyus, the real voice actresses forming a band and holding live performances, so Morphonica. They've already put out some, I believe, one full MV of them, in their 2D form, of course. So you guys can go check it out. I'll link it down in the description below once again. So do give them some support, right? And beyond that, we've got lots and lots of other things coming out as well. Too many to really say for this channel. I mean, honestly, most of it probably doesn't concern people who don't live in Japan as well. They've got lots of prizes and whatnot, lots of different singles releasing. One thing I will say, however, is congratulations to Roselia for the real band of Roselia, right? The voice actresses, for earning the best singing act in the 14th Seiyu Awards. So, ometetou, congratulations. And yeah, I think I already got that award before, but that was as a solo voice actress. So now it's the entirety of Roselia, which I don't know if that quite makes sense or not, but hey, they are a team, they are a group, right? They are a band, so congratulations to them. And also, there's one thing that I'd like to share with you guys that I find very funny, actually. And so the Bang Dream franchise, as we know, within the anime, they are currently having this this girls band challenge, right? Where Roselia and Raisa and of course Poppin' Party as well, they are all entering into the contest and trying to earn the top 2 spots, so eventually play at Budokan as their final live concert, right? The funny thing is, the franchise actually decided to create a fake webpage in regards to the challenge within the anime. So you can see here, the top 2 spots is Reisa Suilin and Roselia, reflecting the current episode status that we have, and how Reisa Suilin is just slightly inching out Roselia with their latest confrontation, right? And I think, Poppin' Party is somewhere in number 22, although I think you guys can't really see it because of the light. But I'll link this one in the description below as well. I do find it kind of funny. It's not, you can't actually vote in it, I don't think, but it's just something to, a fun little way to keep track of what's happening within the anime, and sort of providing it a little bit more linkage to real life as well, right? So, anyways, as I just said, right now, Raisa Swin have inched out Roselia a little bit, and I'm sure they are sort of in a slump right now, and that is probably what this episode will focus on. So, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Bum, 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 bum. Alas. Marvelous and alive. Instant replay. Alright. I'm expecting this episode to, I guess, feature Roselia. Probably their time to shine with a song. Not really sure what they're gonna play though. And by the way, like, I do know that a lot of the episodes are being released now. They're being released early because they're bundled with the singles, the Blu-ray episodes of this. However, I don't really want to, watch everything at the same time and then just be done with it. So I am going to continue on with my schedule of putting it out week after week, in line with the Japanese broadcast. I really feel like they did. This was a bad decision from Bushiroad because with staggered releases in different markets, you're sort of diversifying the hype that you could actually have for this. I mean, it's still doing very well. Don't get me wrong. I think this seventh episode was trending number one on Twitter again today. But still, I shite iru. Sorry, just have to get that in. But I really dislike the fact that they are. And hey, it's the what do you know? It's just exactly the site that I just showed. So yeah, you guys can actually go to that site and check the rankings and whatnot. I don't think evaluation is a good translation of Hansekai. But yeah, it's a performance post-mortem, if you will. Don't worry, you are. Potatoes in the Oh yeah, they're both drummers. Sure, sure, Akko. That's nice. They're handling this well. Which again is the testament to Roselia's growth since when they first formed, as exemplified by the game stories. What's your problem now? It's the Adderall strings. Oh, the two basses. There's more on the rack. Come on, guys.
んとバンドやりたくて始めたんです。
へえ、私も似たような感じ。
今井さんも？
幼なじみのユキナがいたから。まさか同じようなきっかけでベース始めてたなんてね。
この前のライブありがとうございました。
え、何かしたっけ？クッキー？
クッキーもですけど、ロゼリアのライブすごかったから、私たちもいつも以上にできた気がして、迷ってたけど、やっぱりロゼリアに挑戦したいってそう思えて。同じステージに立ててよかったです。
いやいやいや、そんなのこっちこそだよ。
いやでも
レイヤさんこそ本当にすごくてなんかデジャブ
ですね。
で、あっちでもバンドやってたの？
いえ、バンドは今まではサポートしかやったことなくて。お先に失礼します。
お疲れ様。ありがとう。次もお願い。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
Sort of similar to Rachel's story IRL. Somewhat, anyways.
素晴らしいボーカル力だったわ。
ありがとう。お家の人は？
子供じゃない。私、プロデューサーのチュチュと申します。ここには関係者パスで入りました。
プロデューサーって？
レイ・ワカナ、あなたをスカウトに来ました。私のバンドに入ってもらうわ。
ごめん、バンドはやらないよ。サポートならまた声かけてね。それじゃ。
But yeah, because she wanted to form a band with Tai.
聞けばわかる。あなたにしか歌えないって。あなたは表舞台に立つべき私のボーカルなの。
チュチュの曲を聴いて驚きました。すごい完成度。あの小さな体にどれだけの劇場が詰まってるんだろうって。
チュチュやるな。
私を見つけて認めてくれたこと嬉しかった。それに挑戦状を叩きつけられたみたいで。
挑戦状？
チュチュの求める音楽を私の歌とベースでどこまで表現できるか試されてるみたいで。こんなに刺激的な環境はないってやりがいもあって。
Alright. Who's the next one? Oh. No.
さすがにクタクタだよね。指痛い。お疲れ様です。
I like how Afterglow is always around here.
大地蔵祭りは待ってくれませんからね。さよさんはまだやってるよ。この前のライブちょっと引きずってるのかな。頑張りすぎだよね。そうですよね。この間のライブ、ロゼリアすっごくかっこよかったです。わあ、ありがとう。ラウンジにあったシール、びっくりしました。演奏順決めるやつ。
ああいうの初めてですよね。
ランもロゼリアに貼ってましたよ。はあ、よいしょ。はーい、ありがとう。
そうなの？
These two.
証拠写真。
Nice job, Mocha.
これランのです。他にもみんなが落書きしてて。すごいすごい、ロゼリアへのメッセージだ。全部お客さんが書いてくれたんだ。すごい、バラの花だ。モカ、これ後で送ってよ。了解です。ありがとう。ロゼリアのグループにも送るね。やった。
And us.
ミナトさん。これで終わりじゃない。当然。今、決勝圏内にいるラス、ロゼリアとポピパの平均投票数を計算してみた。アリサ、どうしたの急に。武道館に行くには今すぐ対策立てて動かないと間に合わねえんだよ。
Always the serious one.
ラスは毎回ダブで予選やってるし、ロゼリアはサークルでさらにいっぱいライブしてる。うちもギャラクシーでやってるけど、全員投票してくれても100票だろ。 すると、うちらは最低でもラスの10倍は予選ライブをやらなきゃならねえってことなんだぞ。
10倍？そう聞くと大変。
それだって今の投票数の話だ。
Yeah, they're about, they have about 1,000. I believe they just showed it there, right? 1,200, whereas Ras and Roselia have 6,000. Look at these four. 22.
22？にゃんにゃん。上がってきてる。
ポピ V も見てくれたのかもね。
波来てる？
まだだ。とにかくこれからはマジで飛ばしていくからな。スケジュール見直すぞ。
They're so happy-go-lucky.
私もう少しだけ残ってやっていきたくて。
そんじゃ時間伸ばせるから。
All right, the fire's been lit under Roselia.
いいよね。お願いするわ。オッケー。
Does that mean they're going to play Firebird?
休憩にしましょう。
Wait, I think Sayo is overexerting herself a little bit, I feel.
共演の時は近い。深淵より集いし我らが奏でる。禁断の
かっこいい音楽みたいな。調べとか？
禁断の調べ。とくと味わわせるぞ。あこ水飲んでくる。
いってらっしゃい。ユキナさん。
Eh. Yep.
大丈夫？しっかりして。さよ。ヒカワさん。あこ、マリナさん呼んできて。
Probably just overexhausted.
さよ、今日の練習休むって。
学校もお休みだったってリンリンが。
そう。大丈夫かな、さよ。
熱あったの。あこ、全然気がつかなくて。
私もだよ。っていうか、頑張ってるなって思ってたけど、無理しすぎだよ。今日は個人練習にしましょう。次は投資でリハをするわよ。
はい。
わかった。それじゃ。
待ってよ、ユキナ。ユキナさん。アコたちも行きますよ。リンリンもさよさんのお見舞い行きたいって言ってるし。
どうして？水臭いぞ。
はい、お姉ちゃん。
This is like Hina's dream scenario.
おかゆ作ろうか。
そういうことじゃなくて。どうしてそんなに嬉しそうなの？
嬉しくないよ。
No, you are totally happy. You are ecstatic.
お客さん？
宇田川さん、ちょっと落ち着いて。
どうですか？
少し熱が出ただけですから。
39度もあったんだよ。
オーバーザフューチャーライブの直前に。
Oh, in Fahrenheit. I was like, what?
さよさん、喉乾いてないですか？アイスと果物もありますよ。
リンゴを持ってきたんだ。キッチン借りていい？
いいよ。一緒に行こっか。私、おかゆ作る。私も手伝う。
リンゴを剥くのね。大丈夫だよ。ユキナは座ってて。
リサね、リンゴどうする？
Oh, they're gonna have a nice little talk.
ちょっと待っててね。
湊さん。こんな大切な時期にすみませんでした。少し無理をしていたのかもしれません。前回のライブのような思いはごめんですから。さよ。今井さんが送ってくれた画像にあったメッセージにも申し訳なくて。メッセージ？シールの？ロゼリアのライブをどれほど心待ちにしてくれていたのか伝わ
知らないままだった。
あ、
それに知らなかったことは他にもある。マダミンのオーディエンスに向き合うということ。
マダミンのオーディエンス。
yeah,
レイズは
the race fans. This is
プロモーションのことでしょうか。
these kinds of versus events
話も出ましたが、
are how
方向性とは違うという結論に至ったはず
you
です。
can
ロゼリアさん、
send your music to other people.
これもレイズは睡蓮とライブをしなければわからなかった。アフターグローやレイズは睡蓮や他にもいろんなバンド、いろんな人がいるから、ロゼリアだけでは知り得なかったこともこんな風に知っていけるのではないかと、ロゼリアがさらなる高みを目指すために。
湊さん、それでチュチュさんの挑戦を受けたんですね。わかりました。
あ、待たせ。リンゴ、アコが切ったんですよ。ポテトもあるよ。食べられそうですか？
ありがとう。いただきます。ユキナ、ちょっと持ってて。
ええ、美味しそうね。
チーズを入れてリゾット風に。アコのリンゴも美味しいですよ。あ、さよさん寝ちゃった。シーだよ。
Nice. Like I said, they've came a long, long way.
お姉ちゃん、
ノック、忘れてるわよ。
ちゃんと寝ないとまた熱が上がっちゃうよ。
わかってる。でも、音に残しておきたくて。
I'm gonna write a new song.
会場時間までお待ちください。当日券は完売しました。
Oh, they're actually using the Over the Future Live for this.
なんか、すごいいい感じじゃなかった？ええ。本番直前に時間を作ってくださってありがとうございます。
さよが言わなくても私が言っていたわ。
体調はもういいんですか？
はい、すっかり万全の状態で本番に臨めます。
今日の私たちは昨日までの私たちとは違う。
そうだね。アコ、くたくただけど燃えてます。私も。
さあ、行くわよ。
行くわよ。
次いよいよロゼリアですよね。大丈夫でしょうか？
Yeah, the Roselia fans like to dress up in those frilly dresses.
氷川さよ。ベース、今井梨沙。
盛り上がってる？
ドラム、宇田川亜子。
金メダル。
キーボード、白金凛子。
そして我らがボーカル、湊ゆきな。
Alright. Ring the house down, Roselia.
いつもロゼリアを支えてくれてありがとう。今再び燃え上がれ。
Yep. Firebird. Come on, not even an MV? Oh. I'm actually kind of pissed at this. Alright, to pay respect to them, I will sit through this. Suddenly, Genjitsu. I even know. La 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 la. Like, come on, can't you? Isn't that what they normally do? They just, use the ending credit time to put the song, allow them to have a live or something. I mean, sure, they already showed this song last season already, but still. Still. That's really it? Ugh! Ugh! Okay. Well, see you guys after this. Ooh, an onsen episode. And there we go. That was episode 7 of the 3rd season of Bang Dream. And once again, I am more than slightly annoyed by the fact that we didn't have the visuals / animation for Firebird here. Then again, I guess I can see where they're coming with this. They probably thought that, hey, we already showed the Firebird animation / visuals last season already, so there was no need to have a repeat of it. And they're probably saving that for their new songs, right? I mentioned this in a comment last episode as well, that I have no doubt they are probably going to have new songs for each of the bands here, and then have the animation / visuals to go along with it. So that's probably what we're going to get eventually. But still, I mean, it's like, what, 90 seconds? It is through and through some... Just consider it as part of fan service, right? Just like the entire anime is. And when I mean fan service here, I'm not talking about bikini shots or whatnot. I'm talking more about the fact that you really need to be a fan of this franchise to really appreciate this anime. Like, okay, I feel like that sounds like gatekeeping or something, but what I mean by this is that there are a lot of, assumed interactions and assumed knowledge of the series so far, particularly with all the different bands and whatnot, that really, to get an absolute newcomer to come and watch this anime is really, I feel like, it's more rare, let's say. I'm sure there are, and if there are, hey, give a shout out, leave a comment, but, it's just through and through more, and more that the old fans, or fans already of the franchise are going to watch this. And, I mean, no matter if it's a newcomer or an established fan, right? I'm sure that we'll all want to see some more, we want to see some more cool visuals, we want to get the full live experience and whatnot. So, I don't know, I just feel if it's a budget saving issue or whatnot, or a time saving issue, then, I mean, fine, but a little bit disappointing. A little bit. Anyways, this episode, as expected, was focused on Roselia, and most particularly their camaraderie with each other. And like I kept saying within the episode, they have come a long way, right, from the starting of their formation. And again, I know, just for some of you guys who are anime only, we never really got into how Roselia was formed and whatnot. And let's just say that they had a pretty rocky process concerning their ideals, their their goals, their dreams, their interpersonal connections, and so on and so forth. They started out as rather cold to each other, let's say, really just bandmates, and they gradually evolved into the dear companions that we can see right now, start hanging out with each other, so on and so forth. So it is nice to see them actually have this sort of culminating in this sort of relationship for us to see, right? I really didn't like the origin that they had, I'll be honest here. They were really unlikable at the beginning, let's just say. So they have come a long, long way. And of course, we also, speaking of the sort of implied knowledge that you have, the scene where Afterglow, Ran, and Yukina, they were having this sort of back and forth with each other, and Ran was acting all flustered and blushing and whatnot. So just to explain this for you guys who don't play the game, Ran and Yukina had a little bit of a rivalry going on in the past, particularly because they are both sort of the they're actually both tsunderes, and they're both more of the cool type. They're not really talking much, or straight to the point, and more or less having an attitude, right? I mean, not specifically in a bad way, but just a little bit more. How can we put this? Not as approachable, right? Both of them. So they kind of didn't really see eye to eye with each other, particularly from Rand's side. But through the events of the game and so on and so forth, they came to an understanding with each other. And in fact, Rand is actually a trusted confidant of Yukina in the most recent stories. At least musically related, in terms of musically related stuff, right? So it was nice to see them kind of interact here as well. And I'm sure if you didn't know that, you would be like, huh, is Ran having a crush on Yukina or something, right? No. It's just that she's embarrassed that she actually cares for someone who is presumably her rival, right? And of course, the stickers are a nice touch as well. We saw the fans, arranging them in a rows or whatnot. I could totally see that happening in real life as well. And it probably did, actually. Probably those that are attend Roselia Lives More would be able to comment more on that. And so yeah, I mean, basically it was just a sort of Roselia, get back on your feet and go out and get them, kind of thing. I'm sure that as we can see, they are fine here. They'll probably continue to be fine in the episodes continuing forward. And speaking of which, so get back on the topic of the sort of competition, right? The Girls Band Challenge. So again, they showed the website here as well. I will leave the website down in the description below. It's an actual website. You guys can go check it out. And while browsing through it, it actually just struck me. So last episode, one of the commenters, I believe, Fix Zach, you were saying that this anime was supposed to be released last year, actually, and you're absolutely right. So this season 3 was kind of delayed, from its original airing schedule. And that got me thinking, because I think the dates within the anime and the dates on the website are supposed to coincide with when this anime was supposed to be released, right? So let's say in fall of 2019. And so it was actually supposed to have an even bigger sort of connection between real life and the fictional events here, and really sort of have a real-time kind of feeling, right? So you watch the anime episode, you see anything that's happening there, and then you can go on to the website and it will be reflected in real time, and it'll even seem sort of as if in real life this is an actual challenge going on, and these are actual bands competing with each other, right? So they probably had that in mind when they were originally thinking of this entire concept. It was probably synchronized. So I guess it's kind of a bummer that that idea didn't really pan out in the end because of the delay issues. But I mean, we can still. I mean, it's fictional anyways, right? So you guys can still go on to the website and check it out, and refresh after every single episode to see if it changes. And again, if there's any change going to happen, it's going to follow the Japanese broadcasting schedule, so probably the same as when I release my episodes. And also on this topic, so in the beginning, I was sort of ranting at why why they chose to release to have these early releases 2 in a row along with the singles, the Blu-ray versions of the episodes, right? So that probably also has to do with the fact that this was delayed, right? That was probably not supposed to happen, but they already decided to bundle the Blu-rays of the episodes with the singles that were going to come out, and so we got into this sort of awkward situation where they don't really want to delay the release of the singles, and yet we are in this situation where we're kind of being spoiled already because the episodes have already come out. But it's just a messy situation all around. But like I said, I've already made the decision that I'm going to continue on with the normal Japanese broadcasting schedule, so I am not going to watch the other episodes in advance. And so yeah, and on a final note, so we see that Roselia are back on their feet. Razor Suilin, I don't know, they probably have some kind of other issue that they need to work out. It wouldn't surprise me if Roselia actually took back the first place position in the next episode. So what if Poppin' Party, right? It was interesting. We actually see them talk about, at least Arisa, talk about like what's actually happening here, and it really makes sense if you think about it. So Razor Suilin, they're always holding their lives at these 1,000-person venues, and by the way, for an amateur band, 1,000-person live, that is actually insane, honestly. Even a lot of the professional girl bands in Japan don't necessarily have the ability to host 1,000-person lives this in such a short amount of period. There's tons of the actually professional level bands, girl bands, that they might have lives like every other week or whatnot, but they'll typically be in live houses for around 600-500 people, and so they, at least within the context of the anime and whatnot, they are really already on a sort of professional level. And if this was actually real life and an amateur band was actually holding these 1,000-person lives consecutively, and having it sold out as well, and we know that it's sold out because there's the same amount of people voting, right? So if that situation actually happened in real life, they would have been signed to a label already, right? But yeah, anyways, that's their strategy. Roselia, half that, but they decide to do twice as many lives. So, in the end, it's also kind of a similar situation as well. Razor Suilin have hosted 7 lives. I guess Roselia have hosted 14. Right. And then we got to Poppin' Party, who only play at 100-person sized venues, right? And so even though they've done 13 already, and their voting rate is also very high, it's also, honestly, it's near like 99/100% for all 3 of these bands, for the people who do come to their lives and vote for them. But yeah, that is an fundamental issue that they're not going to be able to overcome, right? It's not a case where if you can make your performance any better or whatnot. It's it's simple math. 1,000 is bigger than 500 is bigger than 100. So unless they, like Arisa was saying, they really only have one other method of doing this, and that is to either host more lives, and they need to host 10 times as many as Razor Suilin, or they need to play at bigger venues, right? And probably playing at bigger venues is the way to go here. And not to mention, I know that their strategy so far has been to continue to play at these small venues, and those who will come are their hardcore fans and whatnot. It is a good idea to expand your audience, right? So do something like Razor Suilin and Roselia did. They had this sort of versus live between them, this battle live, and even though they each have their own supporting fans and whatnot, it's a really good opportunity to sort of cross-pollinate between your own audiences, and that's why in real life bands do that as well, because you can get, not only do you have the economy of scale going on where the fan bases of different bands all come together to form so that we can do a really big live, it's also a good opportunity to introduce your music to lots of people who have never heard of you before, right? So I do hope that Poppin' Party also catches up onto the trend and does some more versus lives with the other bands as well. So, anyways, that is BanG Dream third season episode 7, and I will see you guys next week with episode 8. Once again, I'm sorry that I'm not going to be putting out these episodes rapid fire, but I feel like this would be a better experience overall, both for me and for you guys as well. So, I'll see you guys next week. Until then, bye bye.